Hey, I've got 10 games for you to play with no motion sickness. Starting with number 10, First Steps. Now, this is a game in the Quest store for free, and it's not really a game so much as it is an experience to allow you to understand how everything works, like the controller buttons. It'll show you how to make a fist, point a finger, and it gives you lots of fun little manipulatives to work with. You get to do some strange things like play with little toys and even dance with a robot if that's your jam. And I'm kind of putting two games on this first one because First Steps and First Contact have the same feel. They're supposed to introduce you to the Quest world and how to use the controllers, but First Steps really shows you how to use the controllers. First Contact more or less just brings you into a world that you can start feeling comfortable with using the controllers. Doesn't really teach you so much how to use them as much as it does kind of show you what's out there for you. It's just a small little space, kind of has an 80s feel to it, and there's a fun little Wall-E type robot in there, and you get to interact with it and do all sorts of strange things. It's got a personality. It's fun to sit there and wave at it. First Contact isn't really a game either. It's another experience, but the reason I lump these together is because they're just so similar, though they're also different enough that I think people will benefit from trying both of them. And going in line with our theme, neither one of them should make you sick at all. You're literally just standing there and the world around you changes into this virtual world. Every single time I have someone use my Quest for the first time, I make them do First Steps first, because then I don't have to explain all the buttons to them and everything. It does it for them, and then I have them pop into a game that'll be a little bit more fun, maybe a little bit longer lasting. And another free in the Quest store game that you can play brings us to number 9. Number 9 is Bait. If you don't really like fishing very much, Bait probably is the game for you. It's not a very realistic experience. It's kind of cartoony. It has a lot of made-up fish in there that are based on real-life fish. I enjoyed it just simply because of the graphics, and the scenery is very pretty. They have several different levels, and they do have downloadable content that you can purchase should you choose you want to keep pursuing that game. You can get different rods and things of that nature to advance in the game, and I think mostly, though, it's about the experience. It's about getting to go to these pretty places, catch new fish. It has quests, for lack of a better term, that you can do, and all around, it's a solid game. I definitely would recommend it to a beginner or even somebody who's not played it that plays VR all the time. It's worth your time just to sit and relax and do something that's not really physically demanding of you. Number 8 on our list, a game you can play in the real world, but it might get you used to interacting in the virtual world, and that's chess. There's a chess game in App Lab that is very simple. As far as I can tell, it only has one background, which, by the way, is gorgeous. And you can interact with the computer. You can play with friends. It's a pretty good game. I am not very good at chess. The computer beats me quite a bit. But regardless of that fact, I do enjoy playing it. And more importantly, no motion sickness. Now to number 7, which is actually one of my favorite games on the Quest, and that is Golf Plus. Golf Plus is great because it's very close to actual golf. When you swing, it feels like a real swing, except for the fact that you don't have a club, but you can get aftermarket extensions to make it feel more like a real club. The scenery is beautiful. The different courses are gorgeous. There's practice mode, there's single player play, there's multiplayer play. You can do 9 holes, you can do 18 holes. You can change the speeds of the greens if you want to be faster or slower. This game has a whole lot to offer, not to mention it has so many different courses. I haven't bought all the courses, but there's courses from all over the world in there, and there's also courses that they make themselves. They have free courses and they have purchase courses. It doesn't really matter which ones you get. They're beautiful and they're a lot of fun to play. I find this game to be just as enjoyable as real life and just as frustrating as real life too. I would recommend Golf Plus to anyone. And if you don't enjoy playing golf, I still think this might be something for you because real golf is a lot harder to get started. There's some forgiving aspects to this game that would allow a beginner to enjoy trying it. Number 6 on the list is Real Fishing VR. Real Fishing VR is for people who actually do like fishing. If you don't like fishing, I think this game would be for you too, but in Real Fishing VR, you're going to find that the fish are real, the locations are real, the experience of fighting the fish, that's real too. Now you can see here it has a lot of cheat factors where you put your glasses on, you can see where the fish are, you can see which way to pull and tug, but you can also turn that off in the hard difficulty mode where all you see is your scenery, your rod and your reel in the water, and you just go off of instinct to fish, which I'm not good enough of a fisherman to do that, but I can see how that would be enjoyable to some people. Number 5. If you're an artist, Gravity Sketch is a great free app to download for modeling purposes. I wouldn't quite call it a sculpting app, though you can do things in there that look like sculpting, but it definitely has a professional level to it because it is used in both the shoe and automotive industries. I, however, just like making fun little Halloween things, like this ghost that you see right here. Number 4 on the list, an amazing game to play with no motion sickness, is Cubism. Cubism is basically just little Tetris-like things that you arrange to fit in a certain box. That box gets more and more complicated as things go on. They have a great little soundtrack, and a fun little thing that they added into the game is every time you start, if you push the play button, it'll play the song based on how many different puzzles you've solved, and it's always disappointing when you get to the end of the song and it just stops. It has great incentive to keep playing. Sometimes I get frustrated with these things and I have to come back later and then I get it on the first try. No idea why that happens. I would recommend this game to anyone who just wants to sit back and chill with a puzzle. Number 3 on the list, I would recommend giving Horizon Worlds a shot. Now, Horizon Worlds, a lot of people think about like all the games, Super Rumble, Arena Clash. That's not going to be good for motion sickness. As a matter of fact, those things will probably make you feel sick because what happens is you're moving in the game, but you're not moving in real life. But what would be good is if you went and tried some social places out. If you look on my channel, I continue to put out showcases for creators that make social places in Horizon Worlds. I have times available in the videos that you can go to find out when people are there the most. That seems to be a big problem for people, is knowing when to find people. Just continue to watch for my videos. I'll have more Horizon Worlds showcases to show you where you can go and it not be dead all the time. Now, number 2 is a really good one, and it's actually pretty old. It is Space Pirate Trainer DX. The name's a mouthful, but it is basically just a shooter where you shoot all of these robots coming at you. It's very arcade-like. It is an arcade game, in fact. And whenever they're coming at you, you can move in your actual world without having to use any joysticks for movement, and you can shoot these robots and dodge them. It's a very high-energy game. It's not something that you can just sit down and relax and play like Cubism or Real Fishing VR, but if you're up for a workout, this game might do that for you because you find yourself going all over the place, trying not to die and trying to get these little robots. There's upgrades in there that change both your gun, and there's shields that pop up. It's a really good game for first-time VR people. Even if you haven't played First Steps or First Contact, this game, you can pick it up in a cinch. Just put the controllers in someone's hands, they're guns, you just pull the triggers. It's not that hard to figure out. That's one of the main things I like about that game. All right, now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. What is the number 1 game that is fun to play that doesn't give you motion sickness? My vote is for Walkabout Mini Golf. Walkabout Mini Golf is a game that I'll often throw on people's heads before they've tried First Contact or First Steps, and they just grab that club like they would at any mini golf course, and they start hitting it. The only thing that might cause some people motion sickness would be when you pull the trigger, it teleports you to your ball. I've never heard anybody say they're getting motion sickness from that, but they do kind of go like this. Whoa! Whenever it teleports. So whatever that means, nobody's ever thrown up on me, but I think they enjoy it regardless of the fact that their world around them just instantly changed. Walkabout Mini Golf has many different courses. They're constantly putting out new courses. The views are amazing. It's an experience that even if you don't want to buy a VR headset, you're going to want to have at least done this because it's that much fun. Walkabout Mini Golf also has a new ball to find on every single hole of every single course, which stacks up to a lot of balls. I haven't even found them all, and I've got tons. There's also clubs. Each course has its own scavenger hunt, basically. After you're finished with a scavenger hunt, your reward is a new club that's based on the course that you played. That's a lot of fun, too. Now, if you play these games, and for some crazy reason you still find yourself getting motion sick, I have some tips for you. Tip number 1, don't play till you're sick. You'll learn when that feeling starts to come where you're still handling it, but you can tell if you do it any longer, you're going to actually need to run to the toilet. Don't play to that point. Stop playing if you feel like you're getting sick, and even if that's just 1, 2, or 3 minutes, quit it, put it down, and come back when you feel 100% better. That may be an hour, or it could be the next day. After a week or so of doing this, you'll find that you have a lot easier time. Tip number 2, a fan. You can put a fan on yourself while you're playing, and that'll help to alleviate some of that discomfort that you're feeling whenever you're playing games that do have a little bit more motion sickness involved. One of the scientifically proven methods to help with motion sickness is chew a piece of gum. Oh. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, I think Barbie's a little partied out.